Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Hey, everybody. Sorry, y'all. I had to get a sip of water. Woo! It is hot today. And welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. And before I get started, let me welcome even more new members. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Y'all know I'm up to either 69 or 70 members. I have to look again. But to me, that's like having a million or 100,000. I never expected my little Que-stead, crazy Que-stead page to even get more than 10 members. I think I've said that before. I never expected it. I just did it to be doing it, and for me to have 70 members, I'm gonna just say 70. For me to have 70 subscribers, that just tickles me. I'm old, y'all. I'll be 60 in less than 30 days, okay? So something like that just tickles me. I guess I done got old now for something like that to be exciting, okay? But anyway, before I even get started with today's nonsense, okay? Oh, Home Depot, we got to talk about that. Got to. But anyway, before we get to that, first of all, I want to say, I don't know if Miss Tomato Vine Homestead is a subscriber or not, because my subscriptions do not tell me who has to subscribe. I only know by if someone posts or responds to a video. Okay, so, but anyway, I responded to her post. She did a post last night on squash flowers. I loved her method. And so I'm getting ready to adopt it, because remember last night I was saying, well, my food may not look appealing, but it tastes good. That's true and all, but hers tasted good. I'm quite sure I could taste it through the TV screen as she crunched, okay? But her method of making up a batter, I never thought about that. So I'm going to adopt her method at doing the batter. Even for the squash leaves, I'm gonna do the same thing, because I can still stuff them and do all that and just dip them in the batter and cook them that way. I think the presentation would at least, just kill the mosquito, y'all. I got to show him to you. Oh, he bit me, so I'm gonna be itching, but I got his butt. Goodbye. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, the presentation will at least improve. So if I'm trying to do a tutorial, the food will at least look like something y'all will want to eat, okay? But anyway, still, try that. Try the cooked squash flowers. And I told her about it too, because I don't know if she knows or not, because I'm quite sure the way she do like me. I fry the eggplant, I fry the squash flowers, I fry the squash leaves, I fry anything that grows in this garden, leaf or flower wise, I fry. And I'm thinking about trying the cucumber, because they say cucumber leaves and grape leaves are good. And I believe it. Anytime you can eat the fruit off the plant, the leaf is edible too. And so I saw that Tomato Vine Linda, I saw that she did that. And I said, I'm getting ready to bite off of her for sure. Okay, so first of all, I went to Home Depot. I got 4 slats of wood, because that's all I could fit in the car, because I had to put it through. I ran it to the front seat and then through the back window. And so I only did 4, because that back window doesn't let all the way down. It's one of those halfway windows. So I threw a t-shirt over the window to protect it. And I figured that if I put more in there, it would break the window, the weight of the wood. So I'm going with 4 at a time. Okay, so this is what I've done. I don't think that's going to work, because that was the plan. Now, JD has suggested from the very beginning, he was like, if you're going to do that, he was like, you're going to need to stand the wood up and put it up against like the middle, shore it up that way. I think I understand what he was talking about now. Now, those smaller pieces of wood, and they had lots of that there, so I'm going to get some more of those too. They're called bracing, but anyway, they had a lot of those there. And remember, I got those for free because they were miscuts. But the ones that they have were like I think they were like $0.25. So I'm going to go and buy some more of those. I might just go all the way across with those, and then with the longer beams, stand them up. Because what I'm thinking is, first of all, this greenhouse, the reason why I purchased this particular brand was because of the point. It's an A-frame. And it specified in the specifications when I looked at it that A-frame is pointed like that so that snow will not settle on the roof. I can see snow running off. Let's say the sun is shining and it's snowing. I can see it, but I can still see where snow, if we get a big snowstorm, because this is Michigan, if we get a big snowstorm with, say, more than 6 inches, although it might, you know, that point might keep it from collapsing the roof as they stated because of the slant, but it could still stick. If that's that heavy snow, very heavy snow with the freezing rain, it can still collapse. The only thing I am pretty comfortable with is the fact that now my last one that collapsed, the poles, the frame of that was real weak. This is a thick frame, but it can still collapse easily. But it's not as thin as the frame to the other greenhouse, and that got me through 2 gardening seasons. So I'm thinking that this will make it, but then the weight, let's say the snow does stick, the weight of the snow plus the weight of the wood might bring it down. Why add that extra weight? So I think I'm gonna have to stand the long poles up, and I'm gonna do it along the middle. And JD was like, you'll just have to walk around them. So I'm gonna try that tomorrow and then see how that works. I'm not gonna do it today. And what is this in the middle of the pole? I hope that's a screw. From back there, it looked like a spider with that sun shining in. Okay, it was a screw. It is a screw, rather. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. So I'm gonna take these poles down tomorrow and stand them up along the middle, because I bought 4. So I can put one on the end, one along each point. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got enough for each point. And these slats are 8 feet. And I think this greenhouse stands, it's either 7 or 8. I'm finna find out. But I can always slant the slat. You know, that's possible too. Or I can go back and get some 7-foot and use these for the porch. Okay? So anyway, now, y'all saw the vent video from Home Depot. I wasn't even planning on coming on. I actually went to Home Depot for the wood, but I was like, let me go back there and look at the plants and see what they've got. Y'all saw those dead plants. Most of them were dead, okay? So then the lady, that's one of my pet peeves. That's why I got mad. I hate to be talked to any old kind of way. Number one, I'm the customer and she's the worker, and I'm quite, you know, I'm giving her a little grace simply because I know she's probably tired of hearing customers say the same thing. I'm certain this isn't the first time that someone approached her asking for a discount on the plant because the plant is dead, okay? Or just about dead. And it was on the shelf. It had a lowered price, but it was only for the herbs that were dead on that shelf. But then why put the other plants on the shelf? They had strawberries up there, and there was a few other plants that they had on that same shelf, and then they had it as marked down because they were left for dead. I think they said 50 or 75% off, which still, they should have been giving them away, okay? Y'all saw those dead strawberries. But anyway, I got mad mainly because of the way she talked to me, okay? I know that it's rough and all that stuff, but still, you know, come on. Okay, so I did end up getting this, and guess what, y'all? And I didn't say a word. When I got, you know, I went, the plants are way over in the garden center. I had to walk a half mile all the way over to where they sell the wood. Y'all know how Home Depot is set up. You know, you got your plants on one side and then, you know, your construction stuff way on the other end. And so I parked way on the other end because I knew my last stop would be for the wood. So I put this strawberry, and the only reason I bought it was because of the blooms and the strawberries coming. Okay, that's gonna give me a few more. And I thought it was cute being a pink. So we're gonna see how that works. And I'm gonna put that in its own pot. But anyway, so I walked all the way down to the other end to get my wood, and I still had the strawberry plant. So when I went to pay for the wood, which was only, they didn't have the free wood, but they had the cut wood, which these were 8 feet by 2 inches, I believe, 8 by 2s, I think, or 2 by 8s. Okay, so I got those because they were either $1.75 a piece for each plank or $2. I can't quite remember. I need to look at my receipt. Anyway, they were cheap. Okay, so anyway, I went up to the cash register to pay for my wood. So I also had the strawberry, and I had bought some paper. I had some paper towels that I picked up there for $1. So when I get up there, he was like, "Oh, that's a cute strawberry plant." He's like, "And it has blooms on it." I was like, "Yeah, it was on the left for dead pile." I said, which it wasn't. No, I told him, I said, no, I told him, I didn't tell him that was left on the left for dead pile, because it wasn't. I said, it was, I said, yeah, I grabbed that. I said, but they had a left for dead pile there. And before I could tell him what the lady said, because I was getting ready to fire off and vent, right? I was getting ready to say, yeah, and she wanted to charge me. But before I could say it, he was like, "Oh, left for dead?" He was like, "Oh, you can get that for $1. Ring, girl, y'all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, because I just said girl. Okay, girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen, he charged me $1 for that plant, and I kept my mouth shut. I was like, okay, I had to stifle that vent, because I was sure enough getting ready to tell him what that lady said and everything. If I had opened my mouth telling him about that, he wouldn't even have thought about giving me anything off, and I didn't say a word. I kept my mouth shut. I paid $1. So I feel as if I got victorious after being talked to, as if I was the peon, okay, and supposed to be the fool of the hour by buying a dead plant and paying big money. You know, because some people, especially people who don't know a lot about gardening, you know, some people would buy that or whatever, you know, or think, oh, this is how a plant looks. A person who just don't know and they're getting started out, they may not know what to look for in a plant, and, you know, as far as a healthy plant and things like that. In fact, my cousin, we were talking today, because she's into gardening now, and she's doing like patio and balcony gardening, because she lives in a townhome, I believe. And so she's growing a lot of things, potatoes, and she showed me her peppers and different things that she has. So we were talking, and she was like, I cheated. She was like, when I went to get the plants, she said, I bought the ones that already had things. I was like, that's what you're supposed to do. I was like, that's free food. I was like, you know, the plant is healthy anytime it's already producing. And I had already told her what to get to amend her soils with and whatnot. So she's already done that. She's potted them out, and she's got peppers ready to pick. We just trying to figure out what they are, because they look like jalapenos, but she said it's supposed to be a sweet pepper. I'm like, I've never seen a sweet pepper that looks like a jalapeno, but I could be wrong because I don't know all my peppers. So I told her, take a little taste, just a pinch. Don't bite into it, because if it's a jalapeno, you got a jalapeno. And she's full of them. And she got tomatoes, and I mean, everything that she put in her little containers are doing better than my plants, because I started mine from seed. I told her, no, that's what you're supposed to do. She didn't know that, so she thought she was cheating. No, she was not cheating. She was being wise. So AC, I know, because my cousin is subscribed. She's the one who who laughed at me saying that marshmallow leaf tasted like a leaf. she responds every now and then. She'll sneak in. But anyway, if you hear this, sneak in. And so we can let you know, no, girl, you ain't cheated. You did the smart thing. Shoot, I would have done the same. Okay, so anyway, so, oh, I done sat back down. Now, y'all know I lost control. I went back to Pelee's after that. I'm just rambling about this Home Depot nightmare. I ain't even got to the crux. Here it is. Here's the crux, y'all. I lost control once again. Wait, let me tell you what happened. I went to Pelee's because she told me that the herbs were coming in, and they did. Nothing new, except they did get the oregano, so I grabbed, and wait, when I tell you it was only 3 left, and they brought a whole table full. 3 left. I got there just in time, and I'm glad I got there early. Okay, so people were waiting on that. But I found out I made a mistake, y'all. Look at here. And y'all know what mistake I made. I bought 2 of them. I had to get the when it said creeping, I thought that the perennial rosemary was the creeping. I thought they just put the wrong, you know, that they didn't put that on there. But no, this is the creeping rosemary. So this whole thing is going to the front. I'm taking every one of them plants out and I'm putting them in up front with the French tarragon. Now, I'm going to look, and if it's more than one creeping rosemary in both pots, I'll put a creeping in with the French tarragon up front. But one is definitely the whole plant, because creeping rosemary turns into a huge bush. In fact, they said if you plant it out, if you plant it in the ground, it will just take over. It turns into a bush and it comes back every single year. I'm thinking I might, if it's like more than one plant, I might stick one out in the keyhole garden or along the fence or something. I may do that, but right now the plan is one of them will go into the French tarragon over here. So that one little rosemary I stuck over there, which is perennial, I'm going to leave that, because you know I was conducting that experiment to begin with, because one was going out front outside with the French tarragon to staying out front to get the chill hours, and this one was staying in here with this, and I wanted to see which one did the best. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that one there, but I'm gonna stick a creeping in here too. So I'll put that over at the end. Okay, then let's see. Ooh, almost fell and broke my neck, y'all. Okay, I got this. I'm gonna have to bring some spikes to nail the floor down so I don't trip. That was my first time tripping too, so nope, don't need that. Not with MS. Okay, so anyway, then the herbs right here, I'm gonna go and, because I have that annual rosemary in there, I'm gonna take that annual rosemary out and I'm gonna stick that in the front keyhole garden where the pepper and that tomato is, just to put it there and see what happens. Or I might even stick it in with the rosemary and French tarragon up front, because I do want to put the oregano in here. Okay, so the other thing, and like I said, I lost control. I also ended up buying a Snow King cauliflower. The purpose of that is I'm taking out the potato bed that's in the grow table out there, because I know those kitchen potatoes aren't going to do anything, and I just mentioned yesterday that I'm ripping that out, and I can put something else in there to grow and do good. So this will go in there, the Snow King cauliflower, and I'll cover it. And the reason why I purchased this is because if you look, it has already begun to wrap. The cauliflower has begun to wrap down there, which lets me know it's forming a head. So this would be my first time getting a head of cauliflower. So that's going in that table, and I'm gonna just let it do what it does. Okay, then I bought a Little Fingers eggplant. As you all know, I planted my own eggplant. Where is it? Right here? Yeah, that's it. I planted the white Little Fingers, and I also planted the Little Fingers. It's coming along, but it's gonna be a while before that takes off. So I went on and bought one that's already established. And so here it is, and it's 3 plants. So that table out there where I normally keep my eggplant, that's where that's going, right in a crate. Or I might just stick it, I can stick it in with the cauliflower in that grow table. Then I ended up buying 3 packs. So I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 16 corn plants, and the variety is called Honey and Pearl Sweet Corn. Okay, I cannot eat corn. You all know that. I planted corn one time in my life in 2020, the year that my mom passed, that summer. I stuck corn out there, and my brother-in-law told me, he was like, you'll never get corn. How in the world you think you going? And I told him, I was like, watch me. The whole time my teeth were chattering because I didn't know if I was going to get corn or not. But I just didn't want to be outdone. So I told him, watch me. I'll be darned. I got corn. And I mean some good corn too. It did so well. Okay, so that corn is going into, and back then I could eat corn, but that corn is going into the garlic garden bed, because that's going to be harvested by mid-July. This corn should be just getting ready to take off then. Once that garlic come out, actually I'm gonna plant it tomorrow because it's enough space in there to plant the corn, and I'm gonna just space it. And then once that garlic is pulled, that's gonna give the corn just that much more room and just that much more energy. Hopefully nothing comes along to eat it. We'll see. But if nothing does, and I'll put some stakes up. I have some stakes already. The stakes that I used when I grew it the first time, and hopefully we get some. And it's not for me, it's going to be for my sister. I already told her. I was like, I'm growing y'all some corn, and she was all happy. I was like, remember when I grew it? She was like, yeah, I remember. I was like, I bought some plants. I was like, and I'm gonna try it again this year. I just hate to see that garden bed empty. So that's the reason why I chose corn. And I got it from Pelee, so it didn't cost much. I spent under $20 at Pelee's. And at Home Depot, I think I spent like 11 because I paid it, I think 170. I'm thinking that wood was 175 a piece. And then I bought the strawberry plant for $1, and I bought the paper towels for $1. So let's see, we may as well say 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's all I spent at Home Depot. That I know. So I did good. The other thing, M.I. Gardner, who's not far from me, his seed store is about 20 miles away, on my way to my fishing place that I like to go to, the island. He's right out that way. Anyway, he did a video yesterday announcing 10 crops that we in Michigan should start now in June, and it will give us a harvest. It's almost like a succession. So when one plant dies off, because see, August we start to cool off quite a bit. We get a few hot days. July is our hottest month. Now this month, leading up into July, and then next month, we are going to blaze. And then it starts to cool down. We start getting a lot of rain, and plants start dying off, especially if they're outside. So to succession plant, he said, now is the time to start. He said, broccoli, he said, depending on how hot of a summer we get, the broccoli may not do well. He's like, but if it does well, it'll be perfect for the fall, for a fall harvest. And we plant it in the fall too. Now this is something I will put in the ground in August again, and that'll give me another succession, and then it'll be ready to harvest right around November because it's cold tolerant. But if we get days under 100, that broccoli should do good here. Okay, the other thing he said to start sticking in the ground is more squash. And y'all know I got to have my squash. And I only got those 3 plants, and I need more because I get it for just the leaves and flowers. So, and then I'm gonna do some more scallop squash so I can have a second batch of patty pan, because I do get that for the squash. And then the crookneck will be, and I'm putting this in the table also, that same table. I'm sticking the squash in, and I'm sticking the broccoli in. So it's gonna have the broccoli, the cauliflower, the squash, the little finger eggplant, and I'm gonna plant a few early Jersey cabbage seeds. I might hold off on these though until August. I don't know. Or I might hold off till July. No, I'm gonna go and put them in there and see what happens. And if I fail, I just fail. It's just that I won't have, I won't have blank space. I feel that by filling up that raised bed back there, where the garlic is, and then filling up that other table that has the dead potatoes in it, and then I've got the table of green beans, I feel somewhat accomplished. I feel as if I have enough, because I kept feeling as if I didn't have enough for my garden. And usually the only plants that I buy are herbs, but this year I went a little further. Our political climate, and I don't like to discuss politics and all that stuff, but y'all know our climate is letting me know, okay, we're heading into something terrible. And so I want to make sure that I can get some stuff grown, and if not canned, frozen. I can can. I know how to. I have canners. I have 3 of them in there. I canned last year and whatnot. I did pear preserves. I was going to do jelly, and I still have that fruit that came from the farm in the freezer. So, I mean, I still might visit that. What else did I can? I canned some pickles last year, and that was my first time canning ever, and I did well. I followed the ball book instructions, I followed videos, and I did water bath. I don't feel comfortable with pressure canning and all that, and I did good. As long as you get that seal, you know you straight, and that stuff is still good, and I've eaten on it. So I might can some this year too. I don't know. I didn't really like it. It took too long. I prefer to freeze. But see, you can lose your food. You're taking a gamble every time you freeze, because if the power goes out, you can lose your food. But I have a deep freezer which can hold for at least 72 hours, actually longer if you don't open it. And I've had power outages before and nothing. It didn't even begin to unthaw in the 3 days, you know, when I was down. I've never lost my food, you know, out of the deep freezer. Now, I've lost it out of the little freezer before, but never the deep freezer. So I'll decide. And then I'm gonna be doing some dehydrating this year too. I did last year. I dehydrated ground cherries last year and messed up. I didn't suck the air out of the mason jar and they molded on me. So I'm gonna have to get one of those air suckers, you know, from the mason jar. I'm gonna dehydrate my herbs this year because I want to make my own spice blend. I usually hang my herbs up. I usually just hang them in a dark area and let them dry out on their own. And I've had great success with that, but why not? The dehydrator is there. I can get it done immediately, you know, so I'm gonna have a lot of, you know, Que-stead and indoors to do once garden growing season is over. So y'all will see me during the winter, and that's my bad time of year because I have seasonal affective disorder. That's when we have the lack of sun. My vitamin D is low, and that's really bad here in Michigan. A lot of people suffer from it, but I suffer horrifically from it. So it's hard on me and stuff, and then sometimes I get sick like I did last season. But I do have the light, you know, the therapy light. It helped, but it didn't go all the way, you know, with it. So I might have to get a stronger one to help me with it, to, you know, to simulate the sun. But, you know, that comes up. But still, even with that going on, you know, even if I end up sleeping all day, I'll be up all night or for some hours. And usually during that time, I'm busy, you know, doing something there in the house. So y'all will still see me, just probably not every single day. But anyway, I'm rambling now, and I'm almost at 30 minutes, so this is going to be one of those forever to upload videos. But I just had to tell y'all about the Home Depot fiasco. I was so mad at that lady, but it all worked out for the greater good, for me, that is. So I'm going to get that strawberry planted out tomorrow, so I'm going to dedicate it to its own crate on tomorrow. Oh, my melons in the keyhole garden died. I told you they were looking bad to begin with. They are dead. So they didn't survive. I don't know why, but they didn't. But I still got my melons. You know, those were extra from the cantaloupe and honeydew that I had in here. So my cantaloupe and honeydew in here is doing good. So it will stay indoors. So that experiment failed. Okay, big time. And so I think I'm going to put the grapes in a spot. They'll survive. You know, I'm going to just stick the grapes there because I got that trellis, or either I'm going to stick the grapes in the ground behind it and still use that trellis and the fence for the grapevines to run, whether they get grapes or not. So that strawberry plant might go into one of the grape containers. So we'll see. If not, I'll just make up a new container because I still have plenty of soil. And I still have black cow manure. And y'all, my sister told me she saw it at Home Depot. They don't carry it. I looked all over for it. No, she saw that mess at Myers. She just had it mixed up. And they do still have some at Myers, and not too much. I saw maybe 10 bags, so I'm going back. As soon as these bills clear this weekend, I'm going back to Myers because I need to buy some more blood and bone meal. I want to, and I want to get at least 3 to 4 more bags of the black cow just to have stacked up for next year, you know, for next year's garden, just in case they decide to snatch it away from us. So I have room in here to stack it, you know, under this table. Okay, so we're at 30 minutes, so I'm gonna get off of here, you guys, and I will talk to you later, and may God bless you all. And I'm gonna do a squash leaf tonight, so I'll let y'all know how it comes out, because I'm doing it the Linda method, the sweet tomato vine homestead method. So I'll let y'all know how it comes out later on. Talk to you later, and may God bless you. Bye-bye.